Come to the dark side.
Woo, how you doing? How you doing? How you been? All right.
Yeah.
What up?
What up? What up? We back again. Oh,
We got another subscriber today.
Hey,
yes,
thank
Go.
you.
Let's go.
Thank
and
you.
you know what's funny? I'm not saying we
Welcome.
got a ton of subscribers, but I
Come to
actually
the
saw
dark
a couple of
side.
YouTubers.
No, we got mad subscribers. We got mad subscribers. We got 100,000 on the deck. They're coming.
Yup.
Let's
we
go.
do
Haven't hit
as soon as
subscribe
it
yet.
gets there. No.
Come to the dark side.
All right. Now, what's going on? It's Uncle Scruff. It's Too Cold.
Yep.
It's Show Nuff. And you know who we are. We'll get it off your chest media. We back again. How y'all feeling this week?
Feel good.
I'm
Listen,
feeling great.
We saw the
Feeling
numbers.
great.
The numbers went up.
Let's
We
go.
got some views. People like us.
I feel even better.
You know what I'm saying? So, let's get into this week's and let's get into what the people like. We got a video for you. And this one's a real controversial topic. When it comes to parents, discipline, different nationalities, discipline differently. Black kids get their
Different generations
Yes, they
discipline differently.
That is true. Because I know for a fact my parents, they was whooping ass. They didn't care. Now me, I whooped ass to a certain age till I could talk to you and you understood me. A lot of different nationalities will pull out the belt. The government's trying to take that away though. But that's the reason why we got them kids that we got now. So we're going to get into this video. It's about it's about a dad who hits his daughter and the mom gets upset. The one thing I will say, the dynamic between these two is very interesting because I've seen these two nationalities get together before, and usually when it comes to discipline, they're right on the same line. But we're going to check this one out and see what mom's got to say because she doesn't seem too happy about what's going on here. Check it out.
Let's see.
So you wasn't gonna tell me? Why would you slap her?
She's being disrespectful.
But why would a man slap a little girl?
Because the method that we raise these kids are not working. This talking stuff is like the more I talk, the more she talk back.
I wasn't talking.
Yeah, you're still talking back now, though.
I was trying to voice my opinion.
Your opinion over what?
She should get hit by a man?
It doesn't matter who man, dog, whatever it is. Like, come on, you gotta have respect. Sometimes there's a point in life we gotta respect and stop talking back. There's no limit on her. She's still talking.
So why? But my thing
But
is
Lani,
like,
you're still talking, Lani.
what the hell? Hold on.
Stop talking back, please.
Hold on. That looks like abuse.
Yeah,
that's very, very aggressive, Shane. That's anger.
So
like, why would
discipline
you
your
do
kids
that?
is aggressive. When some discipline your kids is aggressive.
Now, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a hot topic because a lot of people, they get together and they have kids and they never discuss discipline and how to work together. And there becomes a lot of stumbling blocks because this parent wants to discipline this way, this parent thinks it's too much. That parent only got to stand in the corner. That parent had quiet time. That parent pulled out a belt. That parent pulled out a fist. All of these things have gone on. So, I want to address the elephant in the room. Do you think that it's okay to lay hands on your children?
Yes.
Sounds like we got a 1 vote for yes, 2 votes for hell yeah, because I've done it. I didn't abuse it, but I've done it.
I'm going to be the opposite.
Okay, and that's
That's what we need.
we need that adversarial effect.
Now, not saying that it didn't like maybe help some children, like direct them. Me personally, I do not.
And you know what?
I'm very effective without doing so.
That is that. And you know what? Some people are. Some people can talk to their kids and get through to them. The reason why I say this is because when my kids were younger, they could understand right from wrong when I let them know it. They had to grow into the right from wrong and all that stuff. But until they got to the point where I could sit down and talk to them, they did get their butt spanked. I'll say it like that because, you know, that's how CPS wants you to say it. Black people say they get their ass whooped, but you know.
Get their ass whooped. Yes, sir.
But you know. And I'm sure if you're black, which it looked like the dude in that video was, and in fact, he seemed a little more Jamaican, so they whoop ass a little bit more. Now here's the thing.
Definitely West Indian. Definitely West Indian.
There you go. Now here's the thing. From all accounts that I've ever seen, Spanish people do lay hands on little quicenteros or whatever they call them.
What they call that? What they call that? What they use?
Chancleta.
Say it again. The chancleta.
Depends. Chancleta, I've heard both.
The chancleta, whatever they call it.
The
slipper, bro. The slipper, bro. Yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to tell you that I am not against spanking kids. And for me,
no.
What it is, and I will tell you just like this. This new apartment that I've been living in, I say new, I've been here for like 8, almost 9 years. But my kids can document the last time that they got their butts beat. The last time that they got their butts beat was probably about 6 months after we moved in. After that, I've been able to talk to them. I've been able to sit them down. They've gotten to an age where they can understand, they can reason, they can do all of these things. But I'm not above popping butts. Now, I haven't had to do that in 8 years, and my son is bigger than me. I ain't beating his butt. That ain't working. My daughter's like my height. I ain't beating her butt either. And they're too old.
They probably jump your ass. They'll whoop your ass right now. Nah, you scared. Stop running, yo.
But I will say that in growing up, I got my butt beat. And the thing about that is, no. Did I like it? No. Were there some times when it blatantly was abuse? Of course, I can point out things. But I have certain rules. Things that do not happen. Do not. I'll give you an example of things that will never happen. Period. Okay. I'm going to take you back to kindergarten. I went to John F. Kennedy School in Kingston, New York. My kindergarten teacher was Miss Russ. Wonderful teacher. Me and my cousin, too tall, we all lived in the same house. My mother, his mom, well, my aunt, my other aunt that had my cousin Ray. We, at a time, learned the house phone number. My aunt, Too Tall's mom, said, don't give out the phone number. You know, every parent says that. Don't give out the phone number. Okay, no problem. So, we go to school. Now, this is where the story gets interesting, and I'm telling you, this was, I don't have any other word for it, butt abuse. But, we went to school, came back. When we got back, my who is Too Tall's mom, she said to us, you guys gave out the phone number? And we're like, no, we didn't give out the phone. They're like, no. And of course, most kids would lie, but no, we were serious. We did not give out the phone number. So then all of a sudden, this girl calls. And we're sitting there, and my was on the phone with her, and we're sitting there saying, who the hell could call? And she's like, who is this girl on the phone? And I'm sitting there saying, I don't know, because seriously, we did not give out the phone number. So what ends up happening? My Esther pulls out a belt. She beats me and Too Tall. And then she starts laughing. And then I hear laughing on the phone. Now, mind you, before we got our butt beat, she hands me the phone.
That's cold.
My mother was on the
That's
other
cold.
line, acting like she was another girl.
That's cold.
So then, like I said, she beat me and Too Tall's butt. Laughed when she started laughing. We were like, "What's going on?" Then my mother's laughing on the phone, and she's like, and they're both cracking up. We just got our butts tore up. Now, I can even tell you what belt was used. I don't know if you remember these belts, but do you remember these? They were like, let me see, get it in front. They were about that thick. They were jelly. They were almost like those jelly sandals. That's the belt. It was blue. That's how I can remember it. But that will never happen. Also, you will never get if I've had, and I don't drink anymore really, but except on if I go out with boys or something, but I used to drink. Either. I had a rule.
Hurry up and get it off your fucking chest.
Which actually, you know what's funny? That actually works better.
Because then they start anticipating that shit. Yes, they do. And they're scared. And then half the time, you don't even got to do it. You can just say, yo, listen, you ready?
Okay, well, let's talk about it now.
There you go. The fear of the beat.
Oh, yeah, that works. I think that definitely worked. That worked for me.
And that's why I was gonna ask you, Too Cold, to actually chime in, because excuse me, I can play both sides of the fence with this, because I have my 22-year-old son, my 20-year-old daughter, and currently my 17-year-old daughter, and this is outside of the 2-year-old and the 6-month-old. So when my 3 older children, when they were young, and I would get them on the weekends and stuff, whatever, we'd hang out and do things, I would never put my hands on my kids. You know, just listen to what I say. Listen, if you want this, then I need the proper behavior and so forth and so on. And I really never had any problems out of my children. It wasn't until they started getting older and the 2 older ones got into their teens. So my son, he kind of started coming around less and less, which I didn't take offensively, only because I knew that he wanted to be out with his friends and stuff, and I'm not going to stop that. I'll see you or whatever. We good. And then my daughter, she started getting into the same thing with her friends and so forth. But at the same time, you had this era of, this is when everybody started recording fights and all of this other stuff, whatever. And that the World Star thing was a big thing. And I have found out that my daughter was going to fight some little girl that she was supposed to be friends with. And the next thing you know, her mother calls me up and shows me a video of her fighting this same little girl. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought she was friends with her. And meanwhile, out here in the background, the individual holding the phone, recording the whole thing, was my daughter's supposed best friend at the time that was gassing her to fight this other little girl. That pissed me off. What really pissed me off about it was the fact that you allowed somebody else to influence you enough to do something that, you understand what I'm saying? Now at this point, I had never put my hands on my children. But when her mother called me and I came over and I was like, all right, and I came over there like, all right, I'm gonna come over here and piece it out and everything. But what happened was, my she got over dramatic. And so she's like crying, and you know how you cry so hard to the point where it doesn't matter what someone tells you to do. The crying part is more important than whatever it is that they ask you to do. So it's like, as soon as they tell you to do it, it's like, I can't. My leg is broken. You know what I'm saying? Well, my leg is broken. My leg is broken. You know what I'm saying? Well, my leg is broken. You know what I'm saying? Well, oh boy. You see why he's so important to this, because he brings that outside view. But I digress. So my daughter, what ended up happening was the recorded fight was on a phone that she did not want to give her mother the password to. So I simply told her mother to give me the phone. And I said, listen, I said 2 things are going to happen, because at this point I was very upset. I was very upset with her, and I was like, I was disappointed more than upset. And I said, listen, I took the belt from her mother, and I said, I'm going to give you the phone, and you have 2 choices. You either open the phone or we're going to have a problem. She went into the dramatic cry and everything else, so I took the belt and I gave her a couple of whacks and went to work on her. And I said, well, I'm going to make you understand that I hit a lot harder than your mother does. So I suggest that you do what I'm asking you to do. She didn't want to, so I said, okay. After that, she went into whole hysterical crying. I was like, you're coming with me. So I took her to my house, and on the way to my house, I said, because I told her mother, I said, we'll be back. And I said, the phone will be open when we get back. I promise you that. On the drive to my house, I said, listen, I'm going to ask you to do something when we get to my house. And if you don't do what it is that I'm asking you to do, then I have a thicker belt. I hit harder. I'm twice the size as your mother. You're not going to like it. So I'm just suggesting that you do what I'm asking you to do. So we get to my house, I put the phone on the counter, and within 30 seconds, the phone was unlocked. And I said, take whatever screen lock, whatever security locks you have on it, I said, remove them. And then leave the phone on the counter, and then I'm going to bring you home. The funniest thing in the world happened.
She says, I don't want to go with that. All right.
That's the cry. When you start crying and you can't. Yep.
But she didn't want to go back home. She wanted to stay at my house, and I was like, oh, okay. So I called her mother and said, I'll bring her home in the morning. She said, okay, and I said, don't worry, the phone's unlocked. And she was like, all right.
Structure.
And after that, and I had that, and that was literally the only time I had all 3 of my children, the 3 oldest ones could tell you that was the only time I ever put my hands on. And it's not because I wanted to do that, it's because I felt that I needed to, because it was a situation where I had to teach you a lesson, because you weren't going to learn it. You were not going to learn it. And with, like I said, with Too Cold, it's almost like when you said that you don't do that, I felt that, because I didn't do it for the longest time. I didn't do it. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to do it. It hurt my heart. It hurt my heart. And that's something I did not want to do. But after that, my 17-year-old daughter that's here with me, she said, it was for years after that, like, the older one that got beat was like, yeah, Dad, you need to beat her. Yeah, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's so funny to me, because she wanted me to record the whole thing. And I was like, all right, yeah. But to get back to the video, okay, you have this, she seems to be Hispanic, the mother, and the father, he seems to be West Indian. And the little girl in the back, which is why I was kind of like, I see where he's coming from. Because after the one little girl was like, oh, Daddy slapped her in the face, and whatever, and the mother got hysterical about it. But at that point, the father was simply like, okay, well, she's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So now, when the conversation is going on between the 2 adults, the mother and the father, the little girl had no place to open her mouth. She should have kept her mouth shut. You understand what I'm saying? And this is where the generational thing comes in, because nowadays, this generation of kids, they feel like they have to voice their opinion without repercussion. You understand? So now, my thing is this: as a parent, you can voice your opinion, but you're going to voice your opinion when I say, okay, say what you got to say. But you're not going to talk over me. You're not going to interject when I'm speaking to the other parent. You understand what I'm saying? Stop talking. Let me speak over here. Don't interrupt, because I'm speaking to another adult, because I'll either have to exit you out the room, or you can walk away, or whatever the situation. But the bottom line is, when 2 adults are speaking, the child is to be silent. Act like you ain't even in the room. when you're given the opportunity to speak, because even the parents that did do a lot of the beating and all that other stuff, they give you a moment. They say, well, what did you do? What happened? You understand what I'm saying? They give you that opportunity. Okay? So when it is your time to speak, this is your time to speak, and I'm going to give you the floor.
Well, thank you.
If you keep interjecting in my conversation, then it's going to be a problem. Rob, don't make me, I swear to God, if you interject one more time, you say something else while I'm talking.
I didn't say anything yet. I didn't say anything yet.
But, you know what I'm saying? So even while the parents were speaking, then the little girl still opened her mouth or whatever. And this is why that upset the father, because now you take it from a generational thing to a cultural thing. Because now we know that, you know, in the general sense of speaking, the West Indians, they don't play the Jamaican, Guyanese, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? They don't play that. When you're gonna open your mouth or whatever, they're gonna take care of that. You know what I'm saying? And even the Hispanics, you know, the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans, and they don't, come on, like their generation didn't play that stuff.
Not even a little bit.
They didn't play not a little bit at all. And it's something that's gotten lost over the generation. And again, you know, that this generation of kids just feel like they don't have to abide by those same rules.
Hurry up and get it off your fucking chest.